Howdy folks, and welcome to Warhammer 2. I don't know if you guys expected this one, but it's been a long time coming. Warhammer 2 runs better than Rome 2 anyway, and it's a bit of a shorter campaign than Divide et Impera, so hey, shouldn't take so many episodes, which is a nice relief for me and my poor computer's hard drive. If you know me, you know I'm running my creative assembly games with mods, so let's go over that real quick. So that if you have any questions, I can direct you to this video. First off, Steel Faith Overhaul, that should be obvious, it's right here. That adds a more... It adds a lot of balance to the game and a lot of distinction from class to class, from faction to faction. Really makes a huge difference in how each campaign plays out, and I really prefer the pacing of this versus the vanilla pacing. So that's the main reason. It's not really for lore. I'm not a big Warhammer person in general, but I like the game, and I like the balance. So, and I don't like, for example, I could go with Radius, but I don't care for Radius, because Radius eliminates faction balance to where basically any faction can do any role, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. As far as other mods, I have a bunch of Regiments of Renown turned on for SFO. I have the GCCM settlement packs, so that when we fight in a minor settlement, it'll actually be a settlement, which is a big deal for me. I don't know why settlement battles are mostly field battles by default. I have the Dry Rains reskins, so that my units look sexy. Not literally, I mean, not all of them. Some of them probably do. I have the SFO additional unit submod, which adds a bunch of extra units, so that's fun. Not a bunch, really like 10, 15 units. Anyway, let's see here. Let me click out to my other mods. I do have the proper combat mod for SFO that's made by Cam, the same guy who does battle balancing in Divide et Impera. So that slows things down, gives you a bit more disparity between your factions again. I have Clear Skies, that reduces some fog on my campaign map. Unique steam tanks, so there are different steam tanks. Battle chance, so that my dudes yell a whole bunch. Faster in-turn camera, so I can move around between turns. The better camera mod itself, so that I can look down and zoom down more. And finally, improved arrow trails, which I really recommend. The arrows in Warhammer look stupid. They look like they're all firing semen at each other. It's just gross. So this one looks a lot better. So without further ado, let's go to the Mortal Empires campaign. And we're not going to preserve the world, Tyrion. We're going to end the world.
I'll take Sigmar's throne.
We're going to take Sigmar's throne as Manfred von Fred. I had considered going with Vlad. I really like the vampire counts in general, because playing as evil people is fun. I had really considered Vlad, because I love his Blood Knights. I love that he starts with access to vampires early on. The extra income from vampire crypts and stuff is pretty cool. The Vargheists are great. But Vlad has a few problems. One of them is that he has to take Drakenhof from Manfred to succeed. It's just, that's it. So you're never going to be friends with Manfred. And I like having allies. I don't quite like being completely alone in my campaign with everyone hating me. The other problem is that with his vampires that he gets access to, his Blood Knights and his Vargheists, he has some serious money problems. Especially because he doesn't have Drakenhof at the beginning. So, I tried a campaign as him, and the problem, I was just bleeding money so badly that my enemies started overwhelming me. Which is a pleasant change of pace. That said, Manfred's the stronger start. We can be friends with Vlad and Isabella. I don't like the starting units so much, but that's okay. We're going to go with normal difficulty. I think SFO is pretty balanced around normal. Minimal help, no autosave. I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, I don't know. None of these autosave after the battle ends, so what good is it? Alright, let's go ahead and start. I'm pretty familiar with the vampires. I've completed 1 or 2 campaigns with them, I believe, so I have a good idea of what my opening moves are. The main thing that SFO changes for the vampires is that usually as the vampires you have to turtle. That's the way you're supposed to play. You take your first 6 settlements, or maybe 5 if you don't want to take Vlad's, and then you build your Balefire Braziers, you build Charnel Pits, and you grow. You level up your cities as high as they can possibly go. And that gets you a metric fuck ton of money. Then you build... Shut up. Then you build the best buildings available, you build the best units available, and then you go out and you raffle stomp, skull fuck everyone. SFO, in my experience so far, replaying Warhammer 2 instead of Warhammer 1 with the SFO mod, my enemies around me are going to be so numerous, because we're going to have enemies here, 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 and here. And their only friend is going to be right there. Because of that, we're going to have to strike out against our enemies just to stop them from destroying us. So, let's see. What do we want to do with our opening turn? Well, first off, we want income. We're going to build these tarnished gold shafts for the 250 gold per turn. We're going to want to raise some skeletons and skeleton warriors. Skeleton spearmen and skeleton warriors, that is. Zombies, I guess. Alright. So that's fine for the start here. Now we have Dieter the Stickler. His army shouldn't be shit. I don't even see him in the army. That's weird. Let me quick save. I'm going to be quick saving a lot, just by habit. Can I see Dieter in here? Does he not actually have a general? I guess not. Weird. Also, I don't know how much I should explain, like, basic concepts with Warhammer to you guys. I'm going to kind of just go at my normal pace that I would play this game at, and if you guys have any questions, just ask. I'll explain things. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you know basic things about Warhammer or about Total War in general. You'll be fine. Oh, there he is. Okay, we're not going to fight this. There's no point. I'll take the replenishment. Oh, he ran further than he usually does. We got a mission successful and 1,000 buckaroonies for that. That's fantastic. They want us to capture Eschen. I don't really care about capturing Eschen at the beginning of the game. I'd rather immediately go for Castle Tempelhof, which is where they're going to recruit their units. Now, Manfred leveled up here. Let's immediately get Invocation of Nehik to be able to heal and revive our undead, and we're going to go for Raise Dead immediately. One of the more powerful abilities in the game, or at least the early game, in my opinion. Now, we can't reach Dieter here. He's not as hurt as I would like. And we can't reach what's-his-face here. What's his name? Zelig. Can I cross over here? Uh-huh. And let's get ourselves some extra units. And let's hop back across so that we can replenish. As far as our other stuff, I mean, how's our vampiric corruption? It's 100%. Yeah, I don't think I need to switch any of these stances. Nope. Otherwise, do I want to build anything? I could build a gibbet for the extra public order and money. I think I will. If I change my mind, I can always stop. As far as tech goes, I like rushing this tree. So I like Blood Kiss, whatever. But Serve in Life or Death, growth plus 10. Since your vampire faction relies on cash from its the level of its settlements, like here we're getting 750 income for this level 5 settlement. It's kind of a big deal. It's a good idea to have a lot of growth. Income from repression buildings. We're going to have a lot of those. Baleful Rituals is good for extra vampiric corruption and public order. But blood is power, income from cities plus 15%. That would add an extra, like what, 100 something from a level 5 settlement? That's a big deal once you get to, you know, the end of the game. Plus the extra growth, turning knightly orders, blood knight extra powers, vampiric corruption in adjacent provinces, nice stuff. Diplomatic relations with all factions, extra ranks for White Kings and Banshees. This whole tree is good. But once we get to Blood is Power and Baleful Rituals, I'll probably switch over to, like... probably these, like, Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen minus upkeep. But we'll see. It just depends. Let's go ahead and burn a turn, unless... Well, let's check if, Von Karstein wants to be friendly.
Diplomat can hide much behind a silvered word.
Yes. Let's give him 1,000. Cool. He usually doesn't accept, so I'm glad. Or at least he doesn't accept for free. Now, a lot of the time, Mr. Man here that's hiding in Castle Tempelhof will head out and leave to go defend Eschen. Also, let's change all of this so that I don't have to deal with it. Everyone going super duper slow, because I don't have all day. Scourge of Cain. It's a real shame. I love the Mortal Empires campaign and the fact that it ties in with Warhammer 1, but it is a bit of a shame that, like, the turns are much slower as a result. There is a there's a mod that supposedly changes the end turn time, but the stuff it does is really confusing. I don't understand how it works. I'm not sure how it affects the game, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Alright, this is some SFO stuff. Basically, they're asking us whether or not we want caps for some of our, like, elite units, and I think this is good for battle balance, for not letting everyone have 1 million elite units. So I like this. We'll go with faction-wide caps. So maybe I can only have, like, 3 or 4 Blood Knights. Maybe I can only have 5 or 6, you know, Drakenhof Guards. I can't just spam Blood Knights, which is good. Well, they have actually turtled inside of Castle Tempelhof, which is fine. Not sure where Dieter went, but since they've decided to be cowards, we're going to go ahead and take Eschen. And then we're going to go up and take Waldenhof as well. I don't care to fight this. We're going to occupy. And we got even more dark magic. Shut up. I know the taint of undeath is spread. I'm the one that spread it. Next we'll probably want... Let's get Manfred's healing abilities. This one is basically just around self constantly. He's going to resurrect dead combatants. Kind of a big deal. And this will, I believe... I think this is, yeah, target self, so while he's fighting, he'll also regenerate some health. So that makes Manfred much more viable in melee combat. Also, this is the game asking us to do a quest battle, Battle of Helfin, which we might do. It'll give us a nice sword and a necromancer, which could be valuable. I say could, it is valuable. Let's raise another spearman, and let's get more skellies. Spooky, scary skellies. I don't need 2 freaking cemeteries, come on. Come on, you're breaking my balls. And I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a charnel pit. Extra growth? Yeah, let's invest in a charnel pit, and we'll probably put a gibbet here. No, we'll put a charnel pit and then a gibbet. For the income. My incomes. Alright, let's burn another turn. Even with these longer turns, it's so much shorter than Rome 2 as I punch my mic. I hope y'all that watch my videos are used to me punching my stuff by now. You know, just gotta get out that repressed rage. Rah. So we're gonna go ahead and head up to Waldenhof, take that. And if they're still holed up in Tempelhof, then we'll go around and take Fort Oberstyre, I think it's called, Oberstyre. Looks like they're building a new army. He may move then. By that time, they'll probably have a full army. We'll have one pitched battle, kick their butts, and then we're done. So this is another SFO thing. Basically, Kislev, the Emperor, and the Elector counts. If I choose this, they will not attack each other, which I like. Makes sense lore-wise, I suppose. At least I think it makes sense. I don't think they... I think, in general, against greater threats, they tend to unify. Pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to work, but I don't know. I just work here. I'm just gonna auto-resolve this too. And we'll occupy. We have the province. Gonna take a couple of turns for us to fully replenish all that. That's fine. Because we're gonna replace some of our zombies. How many can we recruit? 4? Well, let's get 4. Let's actually merge my zombies. Okay, how many men do we have in this army? Does it say? 17. Alright, let's get rid of you then. The zombies do have a useful role. It's just not useful for me at this moment. Also, let's get some dire wolves. Dire wolves are actually very handy. I wish I had more skeleton warriors, but I don't want to replenish them just yet. Let's go ahead and now get our campaign movement range, which is good. I could get more replenishment with Undying Horde, but don't think that's what I want to focus. Usually I prefer to ooh, more movement range. Ooh. Later. Let's get the next level of Invocation of Nehek for added effect area. Or no. More cooldown, less cost. And less miscast chance. If you miscast, your spellcaster hurts themselves. So that's handy. Ah, this is what's giving us our dire wolves. Okay, we'll keep that. And I could upgrade one of my settlements, but I don't want to because I don't want to lose the money. Let's hang on to that in case we need to raise some, like, emergency spearmen or something. I might even replace some of my skeletons. They could probably take Eschen next turn. We'll see. I don't think they can reach. But I didn't really check. So yeah, the beginning of Manfred's campaign is legitimately just bop Tempelhof on the head repeatedly. It's not a big deal. Things get a little more complicated when you start dealing with people and with dwarves. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that in its entirety because that just lured him out, and now I can take him out. And Castle Tempelhof is probably undefended. I think they haven't recruited anything there, but let's see. Right, extra beastmen, yes. Yep, they are not well defended. Alright, time to kill you. He's probably gonna retreat.
Kill them. Raise them.
But that's not good enough. Let's go ahead and repair this before I forget, because I will. Also, let's immediately invest in the next level of gold mine. Doubles my income there. Let's do this fight just for fun. I don't need to. But, you know, I could get the personal pleasure of killing their faction leader. Zelig van Kruger. Should be easy enough. Should be easy enough. The only threat he has here really is dire wolves. And I have more. I mean, he himself is a threat. So when fighting a vampire count army, more than I think any other army, they really rely on their commander. They really, really rely on their commander. Let's actually not have some of these participate. Put them out there. So if you take out their commander, if you snipe him, they're just dead in the water. They have nothing they can do about that. And they have no way to revive their units. Their units immediately crumble, and when vampire undead units crumble, they actually just straight up die. The whole unit is just wiped out, unrecoverable. The double-edged sword there is, of course, that vampire units, undead units, they don't run either. They fight until they die. Which is nice. Can I hide you guys somewhere? There you go. Why? Why bother? There's no point. Wasting my time. Alright, so for you guys that aren't too familiar with this game, or maybe aren't familiar with the units, here's the Vargulf. This is essentially a twisted vampire that has gone fairly feral, I do believe. Let's see. Here is Manfred. Manfred. He smokes until you get close. Alright, here are the skeleton spearmen. Little more than shuffling bones with swords and spears. With Dry Rain's reskin, it's quite nice. It adds like some armor, some tattered clothes and stuff to them, some broken shields. Looks very cool. The only difference here is that they don't march in sync like they march normally. I'm not sure why. Here are my bats. Bats suck. The only purpose I've ever found for bats is basically just charging them into something to make it stop. I think they pretty much lose to everything. One of their bonuses, like here. Oh, it used to say expendable was one of their bonuses. Yeah, they suck. Zombies as well are pretty much just cannon fodder, which is fine. As long as they're not dead, they work. Bleh. Oh, what the fuck was that one doing? He was like sideways. Creepy. Crypt ghouls. Really like how they look with the reskin. And here are my dire wolves. They're pretty terrifying. You got like skull heads. Alright. That's enough of that. Let's rush forward. And we're basically gonna attempt to snipe their general. Nagasho's weak, witness true power. This ability gives us increased power reserves and increase to our power recharge rate. Basically, we have a certain amount of mana in our fight, and we have some mana in reserve. You can see recharge 1 power every 2 seconds, so we can basically blow our load really fast, but we'll still recharge 136 of it. But that 136 is all that we will ever have for this battle. But one of Manfred's nice abilities he has is he can just give himself more every like 30 seconds. It's beautiful. A spellcaster, the vampire counts running out of mana is a bad place to be in. You don't want to be there. You don't. Sometimes you don't have a choice though. I think I might also be using Sebide's unit resize. Makes things like the Vargulf bigger. Which is fun. Where's their dire wolves? They're in the front here. Looks like he just buffed. He's resurrecting some of his zombies that were dead, it looks like. This is one of the main reasons, if you're fighting vampire counts, you really want to kill their general. Because they will do things like resurrect your enemies. We don't like that. No one likes that. The girl don't like you. You came all this way for nothing. With vampire counts more so than many other factions, I find that it's really beneficial to just pile into a big knot of enemies. That way you can maximize the effectiveness of your invocation of Nehek and just regenerate as many units as possible. That said, I don't know if it was SFO or Warhammer 2 or some other update, but I believe Invocation of Nehek has been nerfed to where you can only, like, regenerate several units at a time. I don't think you can regenerate... I think it's locked to 3 units at a time. Which is okay, but not great. So let's pull a little fun move here. I'm gonna spawn a unit of zombies behind my unit of zombies. I'm also gonna revive my unit of zombies. Because I can. Because you can't stop me. Let my cannon fodder do the work at first, you know. It's no big deal. I don't even really have to revive those. I'm just doing it for the fun. Let's send my Vargulf in. And let's start getting my skeleton warriors in there. One of the amazing conveniences of Warhammer 2 is that I can actually draw lines and routes for my units to follow, which is amazing. So yeah, I can just order them to follow a pathway up there. Once you get used to that, man, it's hard to go back to earlier games. That's okay, though. Let's make sure we keep our magic going, and let's spawn a unit of skeleton warriors now behind them. Manfred laughs, as he well should. We did miscast that, so we hurt Manfred a little. That's okay. And I'm gonna send Manfred to go snipe their general. Or necromancer, as it were. There he goes. And let's have our direwolves put some work in. The skeleton warriors are taking a bit of an odd path there. That's okay. Let's have my bats help out. Help out Manfred. Now Manfred will take some damage here, but that's okay, because Manfred can just heal himself with his magic. Because he's a freaking cheater. Like every necromancer. And here goes Zelig. Zelig is down. Now that Zelig is down, basically all of his units are going to rout. Bats, go kill these zombies, I guess. How are the direwolves doing? I could pull one out. Yeah, let's pull out. Manfred, go kill those zombies. And basically, now these are crumbling, disintegrating. That means they're very quickly falling apart, as you can see. Which is what happens to vampire units when they start morale breaking. Again, double-edged sword. They refuse to run away, but they will die. There you go. Battle over. I got an achievement. Generalissimo. Win 50 battles during a single campaign. This isn't a single campaign. Whatever. So, first successful battle, 172 losses. No big deal. No big deal. I'll probably take the cash for winning this battle. Feels good, man. Feels good. And this should open up some new opportunities for us, basically to take their, to take Castle Tempelhof. Which really shouldn't be a big deal at all. I have taken Castle Tempelhof like 10 times now. I'm familiar. You don't even need siege towers or battering rams. You can just take it outright. Oh man, last time I was playing this, my game crashed after a battle and I was so upset. We'll take the 500 bucks. We got some loot. Manfred leveled up. Thine right is mine. Let's see, this reduces cooldown. I can get an extra use. Yeah, I'll get that. And what else do I want for him? Spirit Leech is good, Aspect of the Dread Knight is all good and well, but for these, Lore of Death abilities, I think they're Lore of Death, I don't really need to use Manfred. I can use another vampire later. None of his specific abilities I want at the moment, so I may go with Replenishment. I think I would rather go... Ooh. Ooh. That's nice. These are all good. I like all of these, but campaign map movement. Okay, I could give him +6. +10, that's 16. Vampiric corruption I don't care about. Growth is good. Siege holdout, See, I don't think +6 is worth 3 points at the moment. Replenishment is pretty good. Hero upkeep and recruitment is good because we will have those in the army, and those vampires that we put in my army, probably 2 of them, will cost about 600, 500, 600 a pop. So a -5% upkeep is actually kind of a big deal. I don't really care about Dance Macabre or Gaze of Nagash. That's like a anti-solo combatant ability. Dance Macabre is just basically extra speed and melee attack, which, I think Undying Horde is the most useful right this moment. We'll get that, and then probably some maybe some cunning and some Children of the Night. I don't know. We'll think about it. No need to decide at the moment. Yeah, they haven't recruited shit over there. All right, that's fine. Let's get rid of. Do I want to get rid of another zombie? I actually don't. I have my reasons. I actually want to keep that zombie. I grow impatient. Me too. Oh, right, and we have a commandment available. Because we have this whole province, we can reduce upkeep, extra recruitment, and capacity. Growth -20, tax rate +5. We want growth. Boom. +30. Fantastic. Also, we'll want something in Waldenhof. Probably more growth. We could get wine, but we would need trade for that to matter. Speaking of trade, he does not give a shit about our trade. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, let's get another charnel pit for even more growth. We probably won't. I don't think some of the effects stack. Basically, it's interesting. Warhammer 2 is going to warn us that we already have this building constructed in this province, but I know for a fact the growth stacks. The extra growth from the charnel pit absolutely stacks. Maybe the upkeep doesn't stack, or maybe the unlocking the recruit. It's probably unlocking the recruitment of zombies does not stack, obviously. But I know the growth does, because I've checked. Just by looking. Alright. So that's our 30 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these relatively short. Hopefully that was enjoyable for y'all, and next time we're going to take Castle Tempelhof, which looks scary as hell. See you next time.